everyone, and thank you again for joining us today at Franchise Vibes. And if you notice, my environment is a little different. I may look a little different. Yes, that is because I am doing this now from Trinidad and Tobago. I've been here for a few weeks, here for Carnival, see some family. I'm actually technically in Tobago right now, but I'm so happy that I was able to record this and to bring to you our guest for this month, for this Women's History Month. And not only is it Women's History Month, but it is International Nutrition Month as well. So I am happy to bring this topic to you today, where the vibes we're on is wellness vibes. Wellness vibes for women in business. Eat, lead, and succeed. And today we are talking with Kaysha Jones. Kaysha, thank you and welcome to our channel.
Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be here and speak on not only women's history, but also National Nutrition Month. It's amazing because we get an opportunity to combine so many beautiful things during the month of March. And I'm excited to share the details that I have for wellness as well as entrepreneurship and how we have to give back to ourselves so we can show up in the best way possible.
I love the topic. And I myself, I know that I'm doing this interview with you, but I have to take notes myself because I know that I am not the best in this area. So I am sure that the audience could definitely appreciate the information that you have. But please tell us a little more about yourself, and your journey.
Absolutely. And believe it or not, you're not alone in that there's so many women who struggle with this particular part of wellness and giving back to themselves and actually just prioritizing self-care. Just by nature, we are known to nurture. So it is something that takes a lot of energy and awareness around to really make it a part of our routine. But I'll just tell you about what inspired me. My journey started in seeing there are so many gaps in healthcare as well as workplace wellness and nutrition. I don't know if you have ever been to a environment where when you go on break, you see all these sugary sweets in the break room and we're celebrating a baby shower or a birthday and there's so many things there that are packed with so much sugar, so much salt. And of course, it's done in great intention, but overall, if we're working towards wellness, we need an environment that fosters that as well. And outside of that, I noticed there was so much burnout. There was so much lack of support as well as poor nutrition. So this wasn't just affecting individuals in the corporate environment, but it was also affecting mothers, especially if they were tapping into their careers and becoming first-time moms or balancing having multiple children. So my goal was to bridge the gap and help women fuel their success, especially because when it comes down to being a parent, you have so much to balance. There's not just you anymore. So trying to create structure and find simplistic ways that you can better your nutrition and also provide that stable environment for your family. So that's what I was really interested in. And I wanted to use that energy to focus on a program that could really break down all of the necessary things needed to lead to optimized success.
Okay, and so I do understand you are a registered dietitian. What led
Yes.
you to focus on the burnout and leadership performance and like the workplace well-being?
Because of the understanding of nutrition and how it plays a role, not in just aesthetics. A lot of times people think, well, nutrition deals with weight loss or if I look this way, but nutrition is so much more important. It deals with your brain function, your
Mhm.
decision making, your energy levels. And all of those things were being neglected because we have such a dependency right now on those convenience foods as well as the high amounts of caffeine. So just understanding that there are options for more beverages that can energize you and
Mhm.
still give you way more nutritional benefits than the ones that we typically find in our office spaces.
Okay. Well, you talk about burnout as a business crisis as well, right? And not just an HR issue. Can you break that down for us?
Absolutely. So with burnout, there are so many options of things that we can speak to. We can look at our wellness. We can say, hey, am I sleeping enough hours, or am I actually at the computer for 12 to 14 hours a day? And also, not even giving myself an opportunity to have a walk in between that time. Am I actually standing up at my desk versus staying seated the entire time that I'm doing my work? Do I have access to a standing desk? Do I take the stairs, or do I park close to the building, or do I just, wait till I find a really, really close spot and just walk right in and I stay seated for a large period of my time, and then I get in the car and I'm also seated for my commute. So those are the type of questions to ask. What are the activities that we're doing,
Mhm.
and how can those activities be enhanced? Because when we move our body around, there's more blood circulation. We also get an opportunity to change environments. So just looking at our screen, especially those late hours of the night, can negatively impact our sleep. And so when we don't get enough rest, of course, things moving forward into the next day become affected. So we prepare for our next day. We prepare for our success by how we spend the day before, that night before. Do we have a nighttime routine where we take everything down and recharge, and then we get a chance to actually enjoy that rest and wake up
Mhm.
so we are more energized and we can take on the day with force?
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of not getting enough sleep. So can you share a simple or realistic strategy for high performing women to optimize their energy levels?
Absolutely. So some strategies that I find myself actually being able to incorporate in my daily life, because I'm a busy parent. I have a son. I also am working with the private practice side in corporate wellness. And I noticed that if I develop some form of a me- if I develop a menu for what I would like to have, that helps me with just pulling from things that I can grab. And this menu is not a 1 week menu. It's almost like a cycle menu. In food service, we call these cycle menus, where maybe we can use them for 2 weeks or for a month. But I develop a menu, and these menu items are things that are balanced in terms of meeting the 4 food groups. These 4 food groups usually are going to be 50% of our plate, which is fruits and vegetables, the other 50% whole grains and lean proteins. And so
Mhm.
I developed this plan so that I'm able to touch on all of those food groups. But then guess what? I don't have to think about it. I don't have to remember, what am I going to make? I have a visual guide that helps me keep in mind, when I go to the grocery store, these are the food items that I'm probably going to eat, and I'm going to keep buying those items. So it almost becomes routine.
Mm.
If it comes down to, I wanna add a little bit more flavor, I don't want the same variety that I've been getting, then I make small changes. And so, for example, I know right now you are in Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yes, I am.
So, for example, if you're used to having a Asian cuisine, but then you want to spice it up a little bit and get a Caribbean cuisine, you just could change the seasonings for your meats. You could change seasonings for the vegetables. So you could keep your rice, your vegetables, and your protein all the same, but just enhance it in a different way by flavoring it with
Mm.
your version of what you would like to try. And so you could go for a Caribbean version, an Italian version, anything that's you're interested in, actually. And you keep those basic food items the same, but you add that variety by seasoning it differently.
Okay. So, I mean, that leads me into the program that you developed. So, you developed the Tech Blueprint. What are its core principles, and how much does it help reduce burnout and improve performances? And just tell us, just what is that? What is the Tech Blueprint?
Absolutely. That's a great question. So the tech blueprint, like I said, it was created in order for me to find ways that I could easily and simplistically define what's missing in corporate wellness. So when I thought about this framework, I was like, what could really help people have sustainable health, peak performance, and be integrated with their work-life balance? And that's where I also thought about how so many people are on their phones. And so that aligned with tech. To me, I was like, that would be a great way to bridge that gap, seeing that we spend so much time and energy into the computers, our laptops, our phones, the social media platforms, and now we have a way to connect it with sustainability. So the tech blueprint, it came from these 4 pillars. The first one was unplugging through a digital detox. And so that term is actually associated with tune in and troubleshoot. And so just like devices need a diagnostics and resets, our mind and body need that routine check-in also so that we can prevent burnout. The other pillar for the tech blueprint is E for energizing your system. And this focuses on nutrition and movement for optimal performance.
Hmm.
Just like a fully charged device runs smoothly, your body does the same when you have the proper fuel and movement. And then C stands for clear your cache. And this just means declutter, decluttering all of the overwhelm, all of the stress. And just imagine if you have all these screens opening on your computer, you start to see a delay and your system runs slow. And so by
Yeah.
unplugging and taking away all of the stress and overwhelm, we can then allow our body to function at its full capacity. And H is for harden and optimize our system. So this focuses on our resilience as well as our longevity. We're going to be updating our body in a way that gives us long-term maintenance and prevents breakdowns, just like we would update our security systems and our softwares.
Wow. I like how you put it together because it's easy to remember and you can definitely relate because as soon as you said clearing out your cache, it's like I'm so guilty of that. She talked about the tabs open. I got like 15 open right now. So it's like it makes a lot of sense. So I really appreciate how you put that together. Then again. So what I want to ask you next is about how organizations play a role. So what role should organizations play in promoting workplace wellness and what are they getting wrong?
I think organizations have tried a lot when it comes down to workplace wellness, but they're unsure sometimes on how to maintain the momentum. The goal is most of the time to make sure that the organizations are able to they're able to optimize the time that their employees are there. And so sometimes they just feel overwhelmed with having to come up with a solution about wellness. And that's where I think it gives me a unique position because I've worked in these environments. I've seen all of the areas where there are gaps. And I understand that sometimes they need an expert to showcase how simplistic, just small things, just adding a little 20% will lead to 80% outcomes. And so when employees are actually nurtured in their environment, they perform better, they earn their companies more money, they actually produce way more in terms of quality, and you see less turnover.
Hmm, that's interesting. So if someone watching today feels constantly drained and overwhelmed, gee, such a forward thought, right? What's the first thing they should do to regain energy?
One thing I would say is, are you thirsty? Dehydration is a huge concern, especially with the large intakes of caffeine. Sometimes we are not mad, we're just thirsty. And so I would really encourage you, check your thirst. Grab a bottle of water, drink up. See, I see you with your glass. Drink up and see after that, do you feel better? Have you
Hmm,
met your fluid goals that day? Because it may just be that you're thirsty.
hmm. So what are three foods you recommend every high achieving woman keep in her routine for sustained energy?
I love that question, and I am one of those I love the foods that have so many benefits, of course. So one of my favorites is avocado. I'm a huge
Mm,
avocado fan, and avocado has one great amounts of omega-3 fatty acids, but it also is just so delicious on and creamy and just everything. I love it. So I would say avocado if you are able to eat that, if there's no issues with your digestion when it comes down to avocado, grab some avocado. It's a great option. But one, I want to actually lean towards the anti-inflammatory foods as well. I love walnuts, and so I top walnuts on my yogurt parfaits. Instead of just doing granolas, I actually will add some walnuts, and I will say dried fruit from any variety, because these things tend to be very simple and easy to grab. So
Mhm.
having some dried fruit, having some walnuts on a parfait, it just allows me to feel full without having to do so much work, and it doesn't require me to have to store it in the refrigerator. I can just have a bag of nuts or dried fruit and take it anywhere with me, honestly. So just that convenience of being able to snack on the go. I love dried fruit, and I also love the nuts and seeds, but walnuts, that's one of my absolute favorites.
Okay. Well, this was great. I mean, as we wrap this up, like, what is the one piece of advice that you would want our audience to walk away with? And is there anything else that you would like to add just on? I mean, well, one question I did have is I noticed we talk a lot about corporate. So you work with corporate, we work with organizations and small businesses, or how is it that you introduce your tech program?
Yes, so corporations as well as small businesses, they experience the same amount of burnout, especially if you're a solopreneur or you're in that early stages of building your team. There's so much that is on your plate, and you have an opportunity to optimize it by ensuring that your health is your wealth, that you're putting all of that time and energy into not only making sure that you can cut, but sharpening your axe. And that's where focusing on health, focusing on hydration and sleep really leads to optimization. And so I provide assistance with individuals who run small businesses. And I also provide opportunities to come for. I have a tribe of wellness where during this time we have conversations with individuals who are really on top of things when it comes down to finding hacks so they can share information. And this is a great time where you can speak with me, but you can also be a part of this mastermind group that focuses on nutrition and health. So all of these environments have been facilitated to promote wellness, and the good thing is you can find out which one is best for you. If you also would like to speak with me and do private nutrition counseling, that's also something that I offer through certain insurance providers. And so I'm open to assisting in whatever way possible, but definitely assisting with making sure that health is prioritized so that business owners and corporations can optimize and get to making their dreams come true with ease and less
Mhm.
burnout.
That's awesome. And honestly, it's a great topic. I mean, even in the franchise industry, I get a lot of inquiries on the wellness space, and it is pretty big in the franchise industry as well. So again, I am glad that we were able to do this today. And just again, for our wrap up question, what is the one piece of advice that you would want our audience to walk away with?
That's a great question. So, one piece of advice is to be compassionate and treat your body as if you're talking to your best friend.
Mm,
Do the things that allow you to nurture yourself and care for yourself, because sometimes due to our drive for success, we tend to put so much burden on ourselves, and sometimes we're not even compassionate to our own selves. So being able to take time and care for our bodies just like we would care for a friend of ours or our loved ones, and be very gentle as we go through any process where it deals with us changing.
awesome. Keisha, thank you so much again for joining us here at Franchise Vibes. If anyone wants to know more information, please make sure that you do reach out. The information will be here at the bottom. And again, thank you again for your time. Take
Thank
care until the
you
next one.
again. Thank you. It was so great to talk with you.
Thank you. I hope you guys got a lot of great information out of that last session. Don't forget, on March 20th, we have our next Women's History Month webinar. It is titled She Means Business, Women Thriving in the World of Franchising. Again, that webinar is going to be on the 20th. So it is going to be recorded. Make sure that you're registered so you can get the recording if you cannot make it. See you then, guys. Bye.